there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. This is my eyeshadow palette review for March. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. This is going to be my March eyeshadow palette review. I do this style of video once a month because then I will have tried enough eyeshadow palettes, and I'm giving you all of the looks and swatches I did and all of my thoughts with some new to me eyeshadow palettes that I tried for the first time this month. In case you're new here, you've never seen one of my videos, hi, my name is Maaike, I live in the Netherlands, I have fair skin with a cool to neutral undertone, and this greatly influences how I feel about makeup. I have been reviewing makeup for more than a decade. I love trying eyeshadow palettes, Estee and Catrice, and getting the use out of my makeup, so if that's something you're interested in, then maybe you would like to stick around, maybe. You don't have to, but I hope to have you around for a longer time if you so please. Let me get to these palettes. So the palettes I want to review for you, it was the final stack of things that I got around the Black Friday sale. So this is something that I did. Most of these are K-beauty brands that I bought from YESSTYLE, and then there were 2 palettes from February that I didn't manage to get to, and those I rolled into this month. There were still 9 palettes here, which is normally not what I want to go for. I try to stick to roughly 5 palettes a month because I feel that if I try too many, I just end up with way too many new eyeshadow palettes, and it doesn't give me space to go back to older things. So that's why I ended up having a bit more in here, because I just wanted to make sure I got through these. As it was like part of my Black Friday haul, which most of these things I ordered in like November. And I hadn't bought an eyeshadow palette since Black Friday until it was like there was this like outlook into the future where I was like, okay, I'm going to be done trying all of these palettes and then I'm going to allow myself to buy some more. So if you stay tuned for my haul, then you'll see what new palettes I got to sort of keep the train rolling for April. But I'm definitely going to be slowing down again like I normally do and only have like 5-ish palettes or so to review for you guys, because else it's a bit much. But yeah, we have 7 K-beauty palettes, some by brands I already knew I loved and I just wanted to try some other color stories. But there's also 3 new-ish to me brands. So 4 palettes in total from brands that I hadn't tried before eyeshadow-wise. And as I mentioned, 2 palettes that I rolled in from February. So let me start with these ones actually and keep the K-beauty stuff for last. And the 2 things I rolled in from February are the 2 Glossgods palettes that were more colorful. So last month I did try the Gal on Jupiter, which is the more neutrally toned one with some lovely holographics and really lovely things. But Glossgods also does what they like to call effects palettes, and they came out with the color of rain. I think over the summertime, I didn't get it until like the fall time. And then there was the Gal on the Moon, which I believe was a re-release for them. So I did try both of these. Let me kick things off with the color of rain. And the Glossgods color of rain, I knew I wanted to try because this is essentially the blue tone version of, I think it's called Dancing in the Sky, which is green tones. And I really enjoyed that palette at the time. This one gives you 1 matte black, and everything else are these really pretty, very foily, shimmering quality eyeshadows. And you'll see when you see my haul coming up next week, because I just filmed that, that I bought some palettes that are very expensive that has some special shades in. And I feel that Glossgods is one of the indie eyeshadow palette brands that really shows you that just because something has special shades doesn't mean you have to triple your price point, because the Glossgods palettes are all still around like 40 to 45 euros, even something like this, because this is incredibly shimmer heavy. You get some multi-chromes in here. These all have some sort of shift, and a strong shift at that, and they don't charge more than a regular palette. And to me, that seems mind-boggling because so many indie brands that do special shades and shifty things will ask sometimes twice as much as what Glossgods ask for their palettes. Sometimes those palettes are a lot bigger and they just take up a lot more space. These are nice and small and curated. Like, look at how slim the design is. Very easy, like, very easy packaging, you could say. And then you just get your 12 shades inside it. I really enjoyed the 2 looks I did with this. So I ended up doing a look with like this half of the palette, like these 5 shades, and then the second look I did with this half of the palette, and I roped in the black. And this is why it's so nice that they give you a really good matte black in this palette. It's going to give you a lot more options with these kind of shades, because if you put them on bare skin, they're going to have a different shifting quality and there isn't as much depth. But when you layer them over the black, which is why I wanted to do that for one of the looks, I just smoked a little bit of the black along my top lash line and then layered the shades over it, and it really, really intensified them. So I think it's clever that this comes with a matte black. You could very easily do like a super smoky eye if you were to do like black from your lash line all the way up to your crease and really smoke it out, and then topping the multi-chrome shimmer on top with a finger. That's going to be a stunning look. It's a look I still wanted to do, but I ran out of time. With these, you can just do so much, so many different effects that you can create, and I love that this is more like blue-purple than a lot of other things, because save for this pink tone, I like the entire palette. Like, these are my shades. So I was really happy with this one. And because I was using these back to back and I was using the Gal on the Moon, and then I realized that this is essentially the same thing as the Dancing in the Rain, or the Color of Rain. So perhaps this is one that I didn't really need, but it is the look I'm wearing today. So I did one look with this because I feel there is a little bit of overlap, really. This is a little bit more purple heavy, and what I ended up doing is that I used this this shade here all over the lid with a bit of bronzer in the crease, and I actually topped it with this shade over here, which is this sort of shiny thing you get in the center of the lid. And then I used some of these purples on the lower lash line, and I think I used this in the inner corner. And I also tried to use a little bit of this. These 3 shades are multi-chromes. That's why I wanted to try the palette, because I wanted to see what the multi-chrome formula from Glossgods were like a standard multi-chrome, I mean, not these like sparkly things that this is surrounding. And this was a re-promote, I believe. This palette was around before, and they brought it back due to popular demand. I like the shimmer formula in the Color of Rain more than I do this. And the multi-chromes we get in here are the kind of multi-chromes that have a very deep base. And on my skin tone, those don't really work very well. You can't really see the shift because the clash of the base pigment is too stark with my skin tone, and that's why most of the shift is lost. Do these look stunning in a finger swatch? Can I make them work? For sure. But as I was using this one after I tried the Color of Rain, I was like, oh, I like the Color of Rain better. This one I feel I can get fewer looks out of. As in, like, the Color of Rain, no issues using that one by itself with just a bit of bronzer in the crease. This one is just a little bit more challenging. Like, I don't think I'm a huge fan of, like, the gold in the middle. Like, these greeny shades are still nice, but yeah, there's just a couple of shades here I'm like, they don't really go together. In a way they do, because I think these like greeny tones with these golden tones and this multi-chrome can work together as well. But I didn't feel like I had to go in with a second look with this after trying this one as well. Oop, I'm dropping things. So now that I've tried both of these, I can tell you very safely that the Color of Rain, if you're going to get just one Glossgods Effects palette, this has to be my favorite. Am I happy to own this one? Yes, it is very pretty. It is a really good shimmering effect palette, but because I have shades like this in my singles collection from Clio and things like Terra Moons and Touch of Glam, Luxie Beauty, I have a couple of shades by, and Divina, I feel that this color story by itself isn't unique enough compared to everything else I already have. So that's why this is my least favorite of the two, and I think I could have just made do with just the Color of Rain. But I was sucked in and super excited when this one was released. So the Gal on the Moon, really pretty palette if these are the kind of shades you're looking for. But I feel if you already have some multi-chromes in your makeup collection, this may feel a bit superfluous. So my recommendation would be the color of Rain of the two. And that brings me to all of the K-beauty things. As I mentioned, there were some new to me brands in here, and there were also some brands in here that I bought palettes by before, and I just wanted to try some more color stories. One of those brands is Clio, and this is their Napping Cheese eyeshadow palette. This is cheese and cat themed. That's literally the branding on this. That's why the pans have like a slice of cheese here, and a little kitten paw, and it came with stickers, and it's got like a kitten holding a piece of cheese. It's really, really pretty. I didn't want to put stickers all over this. I have gone onto YESSTYLE and have found out they now do a puppy version. So guess what's on the wish list? The puppy version for sure. And this was so pretty. I felt so beautiful wearing these shades, and I knew Clio could do good eyeshadow from the start because they are one of my favorite K-beauty eyeshadow brands. I have 3 more palettes by them, and I love all 3, and this one is really pretty. K-beauty brands are gonna give you a wash of color. If you don't like washes of color, if you want boom pigment, Glossgods. Go indie. Don't go K-beauty. That's not your vibe. But I love washes of color, especially in my day-to-day life, because something like this, I can throw on, it blends itself, it works every single time, and I love that K-beauty is starting to do a little bit better shimmer quality and not just like flaky glitters. So you have this like peachy row and you have this yellowy brown roll. This is like the more wearable neutral version of the Naked Honey by Urban Decay. That's how I felt. On me, it pulled like mustard yellow, which is one of my favorite warm tones. And I was telling you guys just a couple of weeks ago how I wanted to try more warm tones. And then I roll into this month and I actually already have it because this has some really lovely warm tones. And some of the other palettes I have for you today are also some really lovely warm tones. So yeah, I was very, very pleased with this Clio palette. I want to get the puppy one as well. As I mentioned, I think it's a little bit more pinky toned rather than like soft baby pinks, it seems, rather than like peach and yellow. But this was really pretty. I think it's a really nice gradient we get here. Yes, it is that wash of color, but I really like the 2 more intense shimmer shades we get in here. And I felt beautiful wearing these eyeshadows. Next up, the other brand that I have tried before is Romand, which is another K-beauty brand I love for eyeshadow. I tried them for the first time last year. I had never tried a Romand product before then, and I instantly fell in love. I have some of their lip products, I've got some of their eyeshadow palettes, and their Better Than eyeshadow palettes are amazing. I have already seen that there is a new one out that seems to be like berry themed, like plums. So that one is definitely on the wish list from YESSTYLE as well. I, of course, as a lover of all things cool-toned, I had to try this. This is the Dusty Fog Garden. And the thing that helped me back when I started trying Romand initially, because this is one that I was eyeing up, there's just only really one reason. This is an all matte palette. And me and all matte palettes usually don't go together. But this was so pretty. Sure, I still wanted to have a shimmer in my life when I was wearing this. But this, to just set up a look and not be worried about anything else, I do feel that, like, it's not like with the Clio palette where you can go like row 1, row 2, and you've got a look kind of thing. You could, but I feel we get different undertones in this, which is actually what I enjoy about it. We have some grays, we have some browns, we have some plums, and we have some beige things to blend things out and make it work. So yeah, this was a very, very successful eyeshadow palette for me. I did 2 looks with it, if I'm not mistaken, and I really enjoyed them. The different undertones show up on me beautifully. These did pull a little bit darker on my skin than what I had expected. So I definitely needed to blend these out, but they blend into like, they blend into the skin so beautifully, and it's super easy to create eye looks with this. So very happy to now own the Dusty Fog Garden from Romand. And this may seem to be a bit of a wild card, but actually one of my favorite palettes I've played with all month is this guy. This is also by Romand, and it's the Better Than palette in Mahogany Garden. And this one was just screaming my name because I wanted to try some warm tones. And if we can do warm tones like this, they can work. Because this bottom row is more like, again, sort of mustard leaning almost. And then in here, again, you do have some orangey tones, but it's not so orange that it's no longer going to work on my skin tone. This is why I always say in the intro that I have fair skin with a cool to neutral undertone. I am more neutral than I am anything else. But even if you have neutral toned skin, you can pull a little bit more cool toned or a little bit more warm toned. In my case, it just means that I can still wear things like this without it looking weird on me. And again, I felt so amazing wearing these shades, which just go to show that if I find a good warm tone, I can definitely make it work. It does have 2 glittery shades. So in case you're unfamiliar with K-beauty brands, they do a lot of like glitters, and this one and also this one have that glittery quality. So pretty topped over things. Were they difficult to remove though? Yes, especially this shade here. Like I had glitter flecks on my face for like 3 days, I think. And I even took a shower, and it just gets stuck to your face, which because you apply these around the eye area, it can be a little bit dangerous, especially if you're a contact lens wearer, because if these things get into your eyes, it's worrying, but so pretty. I really enjoy the 2 regular shimmer shades we get in here. That's why I wanted to try this one, because a lot of these are very matte heavy and you only get 1 or 2 shimmers. But to get 2 true shimmers and 2 like glittery top coat things make me really want to get this palette, and I really enjoy the mattes in here as well. Neutral, warm tones that look pretty, and it just made me feel amazing. So the Romand Mahogany Garden palette was one of the standout palettes I played with all month. And then a palette that I didn't think I was going to enjoy because this was so cheap. I think I paid €5 for this. It was like drugstore pricing for sure. Like the Romand and the Clio ones are slightly more expensive. Like I think the Romand ones are like somewhere between 15 and 20 euros. And the Clio palettes retail for around the €25 mark. So they're definitely more expensive. But when I saw this is by Pink Flash. It's their eyeshadow palette, the Pro Touch eyeshadow palette in shade 3. Which I think the shade name was something like strawberry something. I don't know. I don't read Korean, so it doesn't say. It says here that it's made in China. So it could be a Chinese brand. I never know. But yeah, this was very pink heavy and it's very warm toned. And I didn't think I was gonna love it. But because it was so affordable, I was like, I might as well try like a drugstore brand from like the Asian region. I might just do that. Yes, this is very peachy pink. Are these my shades? No, not at all. But I felt amazing wearing this eyeshadow palette. It does take, because it is a look. It is a look. I did film wearing one of the looks that I did with this in one of my videos, but it has some really pretty shades. It has a really lovely pinky tone shimmer. This is a bit of a duochrome, which I don't think you can see, but it's like a pinky peach to a gold. And then you also have a champagne. Everything else is more matte. And then like Romand, it has one of those very flaky, glittery, toppery things. These ones, also the ones in the Romand palette, by the way, and also this one, have enough adhesive to them that you can actually just like stick your finger in, tap it on, and it stays put. It doesn't go anywhere. This one as well, impossible to remove. Like I literally had to like use my nails to sort of scrape them off of my eyeball. It wasn't good. Will I reach for this a whole lot? Probably not, but it definitely has some pretty shades, and I'm glad I got to try it. It was very intense for how affordable this palette is. I was pretty amazed by how well this blended and how pretty it was, and the two looks I did with it, even though they aren't necessarily my shades, because these warm tone pinks, it's pink eye waiting to happen for me. And I do feel that this is a little bit different. And I sometimes want to like push myself out of my comfort zone and try something I don't normally try. And this palette definitely did it. And for the price point, I think it's really, really amazing quality as well. So I'm glad I got to try it. Not sure I will be reaching for this a whole lot though. We're gonna keep the flaky shimmer train rolling because this glittery thing, if your palette is called the Glitterpedia, you know what's going on. This is by a brand called Unleasha. And this is a brand I've heard a lot of people talking about, but I hadn't tried their eyeshadow before. I think I did try one of their lip products though last year. I think I did. But this is just a brand I hadn't tried much from. And they are known for doing these 9-pan eyeshadow palettes that all have a glitter in. These all have a glitter in. But look at how pretty this is. It's very cool toned. It's really pretty. This is all of Lavender Fog, number 4. And it just has some like pinky purpley kind of things. It's got some really nice neutrals in here as well. This really nice neutrally thing. And then it has that glitter in the middle that you can top over everything. And also this white shade is a chunkier glitter. So are these like the easiest to work with? No. But if you want to go for that like quintessential Korean makeup look with a wash of color and a lot of sparkle over the lid, this palette is the one you need. Like if you just get one of these, I think this one is really nice. It comes in really pretty packaging too. Like it's called the Glitterpedia, and the box this comes in looks like a little book, like an encyclopedia. And I think if you were to have like a couple of them and you could like put them on a bookshelf, it's very well thought through. I really enjoy this one. This is definitely going to stay because again, it has some of those flaky shimmers. And where I didn't like these like glittery texture things back when ColourPop had their press glitter moment and we had these other brands doing them, now that I've tried more and more of them by K-beauty brands, I'm like, but they are onto something, because it does instantly take your look from like a boring wash of color to like the next level with just a dab of your fingertip. Like that's all you need to get this to a higher level. And so I now feel like I'm starting to understand the obsession of K-beauty brands with these kind of like glittery things. It's still not my favorite formula, as I've just explained why, but I do think it looks really, really pretty on, and it's very effortless, but with full-on impact, and I love it for that reason. And that brings me to the final brand, but I did get 2 of their palettes, and that is a new to me brand, which is called Lily by Red. Again, Lily by Red is a brand I was introduced to last year, and then I spotted that they do eyeshadow palettes, and they are also cheese obsessed because we have a cheese palette and we have this cooler tone palette. Let's start with this one. This is the Mood Keyboard in Ash Moth. And these look, as you can see, like a little keyboard. Like it even has like imprints, like it's like a key that you can press on your keyboard on your computer. It's super cute. They do a full range of these, and I just decided to like try 2 of them. There is another one that they do that I would like to get. I don't remember what it was called, but it is on my YESSTYLE wish list because this is, again, really, really stunning formula. The only problem I have with this is that the pans are really, really tiny, so you can't use this with very big brushes. And I felt that these were like a little samey, like it was pretty. And you do, again, get a very sort of shimmer heavy, sort of glittery kind of shade like you did with the Roman and with the Glitterpedia from Alicia. So I would have liked a little bit more in terms of shimmer for sure. Is a little bit matte heavy, and this bottom row is pretty samey. Nothing too intense, I feel, but I think they look really pretty, and the packaging is just super cute. So Lily by Red was very successful, and I would like to get 1 more of these. And then, as I mentioned, they are also obsessed with cheese. This is the cheese platter, or cheese plate, I should call it. And this doesn't have cats, but it does have like yellow shades and then some neutrally warmer tone browns. And we have like little cheese imprints. It's so cute. Here I felt like this shimmer was so good, so good. And these aren't too glittery either. They're just incredibly smooth. And here I felt we did get enough depth in the array here. And as yellow as this looks, this is also why I enjoy mustard yellows on myself. They just blend really seamlessly into the skin, which is why I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the Cheese Plate palette from Lily by Red as well. Now I can't think of the name of that new palette that I found. It was also styled like the keyboard, but again, it had like a more special color story. So yeah, this is definitely a brand I'm going to be keeping an eye on because they do some really lovely things, and I would like to try some more by them for sure. So that is my eyeshadow palette review for March, a very successful month for me for sure. If you're not really into K-beauty, I'm not sure you got much out of it, but next month I will be back with a review with much more intense shades. So if you love your indie eyeshadow palettes, definitely stay tuned because in April we're going to be doing a full-on indie makeup lowdown. If you want to know what it is I'm reviewing, then maybe stay tuned because in the next week I will be posting a couple of videos where I will show you exactly what I will be using. So if you want to know, just check out some of my videos that go live in the next week or so. And for now, I would like to thank you very much for watching this video today. Thumbs it up if you liked it. I hope you got something out of it, that some of these palettes like swatches or looks that I did can show you something of what these palettes can do and give you a good idea if you were looking into purchasing any of these. And I do come on here 4 times a week to post new content, so I have a lot more coming your way. And then I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.